Have you noticed something strange? The people who talk the most about discipline are often the ones falling apart in private. They post the routines. They announce the comeback. They say, "This is my year." And then they disappear the moment life gets uncomfortable. Because discipline was never about looking strong in public. It is about staying loyal to yourself when nobody is watching, when nobody is praising you, and when the version of you that wants comfort starts negotiating behind your back. And that is where most people lose. Not because they are stupid. Not because they are lazy beyond repair. But because they were taught a fake version of discipline, one built on motivation, performance, and the need to be seen trying. In this video, we are going deeper. Not into trendy productivity advice. Not into empty self-help slogans. But into 9 Stoic secrets that help you build the kind of discipline that does not collapse under pressure. The kind that survives distraction. The kind that survives loneliness. The kind that survives modern life. And near the end, I want to show you one mistake that quietly destroys discipline in intelligent people, the kind of mistake that looks harmless on the surface, but keeps them trapped in the same cycle for years. Let's begin where real discipline begins. Not with routine. With truth. 1. Understand your why. Most people do not fail because they lack discipline. They fail because they are trying to force discipline into a life that has no real inner alignment. They set goals because the world told them those goals sound impressive. Make more money. Lose the weight. Wake up earlier. Work harder. Become more successful. Be more productive. It all sounds good. It all sounds mature. It all sounds like progress. But deep down, many people are exhausted because they are chasing goals they never truly examined. They are obeying social expectations and calling it ambition. They are copying someone else's definition of a meaningful life and calling it purpose. And when your goal is not deeply yours, discipline becomes punishment. You can feel it. You sit down to work, but something in you resists. You make a plan, but your energy leaks out halfway through. You promise yourself this time will be different, but when discomfort arrives, your mind quietly asks a dangerous question. Why am I even doing this? That question destroys more progress than laziness ever will. The Stoics understood something the modern world keeps forgetting: a person can endure a great deal when their suffering is connected to meaning. But when effort feels disconnected from identity, even small resistance starts to feel unbearable. Marcus Aurelius did not practice self-control because he wanted applause. He practiced it because he believed a human being should live in accordance with virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, and restraint. His discipline was not cosmetic. It was moral. It was spiritual. It was personal. That is why it lasted. A lot of people today are trying to build discipline on top of image. And image is fragile. You can wake up early for a week because you like feeling superior. You can go to the gym for a month because you enjoy being admired. You can post your habits online because it gives you the illusion of transformation. But when the compliments stop, when progress becomes boring, when no one is there to notice your effort, borrowed discipline falls apart. Because it was never rooted in truth. Real discipline begins when you stop asking, "What should I do to look successful?" and start asking, "What kind of person do I refuse to become?" That is a very different question. Maybe your why is not glamorous. Maybe you want discipline because you are tired of being a person who breaks promises to yourself. Maybe you want discipline because your family needs stability, not speeches. Maybe you want discipline because you are done living in reaction mode, always distracted, always behind, always negotiating with your own weakness. That is enough. In fact, that is better than enough. Because real reasons are usually quiet. Picture a man sitting in his car after work, engine off, hands on the steering wheel, staring at nothing. He is not lazy. He is not weak. He is just tired of carrying a life that no longer feels intentional. He knows he should change. He has known for years. But what he lacks is not information. It is clarity. And clarity changes everything. When you know why you are suffering, you stop romanticizing comfort. When you know what matters, distractions start looking smaller. When your actions are tied to something sacred, your dignity, your peace, your children, your future, discipline stops feeling like force. It starts feeling like self-respect. So before routines, before apps, before habit trackers, sit down and tell yourself the truth. What do you value? What do you want your life to stand for? What pain are you no longer willing to repeat? What kind of weakness have you become tired of excusing? Write it down. Make it plain. Make it honest. Because discipline without purpose is just organized suffering. But discipline tied to truth becomes power. 2. Master the art of delayed gratification. Modern society has trained people to confuse relief with reward. That is one of the quietest forms of manipulation in everyday life. Feel stressed? Scroll. Feel lonely? Spend. Feel bored? Eat. Feel insecure? Post. Feel restless? Escape. And if you do this long enough, you stop living by intention and start living by impulse. That is why delayed gratification is not just a productivity skill. It is a form of inner rebellion. Because every time you refuse an immediate urge in service of something greater, you are breaking a chain. The Stoics understood this well. They knew that the person ruled by appetite cannot be free, no matter how comfortable their life looks from the outside. And that is what most people never say clearly enough. A person addicted to immediate pleasure is easy to control. Easy to distract. Easy to sell to. Easy to provoke. Easy to manipulate. A society built on instant pleasure does not produce strong people. It produces dependent people. That is why discipline feels so unnatural at first. You are not just fighting yourself. You are resisting an entire culture designed to keep you impulsive. Think about how many times a day your attention is hunted. Your phone vibrates before your mind settles. Entertainment is always one tap away. Food is engineered for craving, not nourishment. Convenience is marketed as freedom, even when it makes you softer, weaker, and less patient. Then people wonder why they cannot stay focused. But the issue is not that they are defective. The issue is that they have been conditioned to expect reward without waiting. And waiting is where character is built. There is a private moment most people know well. You sit down to do the work that matters. A difficult email. A financial plan. A workout. A conversation you have been avoiding. A project that could change your future. And almost instantly, your mind offers you an exit. Check your phone first. Do it later. You're too tired today. You deserve a break. Start tomorrow when you can do it properly. That voice sounds compassionate. It sounds reasonable. It sounds like self-care. But very often, it is just weakness wearing a gentle tone. Delayed gratification means recognizing that voice without obeying it. It means letting the urge pass. Letting the discomfort rise without rushing to silence it. Letting yourself feel the tension between what is easy now and what is meaningful later. This is where trust in yourself begins. Not when life is smooth. Not when motivation is high. But in those invisible moments where you choose the long road on purpose. Imagine planting a tree in hard ground. Nothing happens at first. The dirt looks unchanged. No one compliments your patience. No one sees the roots taking hold under the surface. That is how discipline works. The external world may not reward you immediately. But something inside you is changing every time you wait. Every time you pause before reaching for the easy thing. Every time you choose the future over the craving of the hour. And it does not have to start dramatically. You do not need some cinematic reinvention. Start with a 5-minute delay. When you want to check your phone, finish one meaningful task first. When you crave something destructive, sit with the urge before obeying it. When you want to spend emotionally, step away from the screen and ask what you are actually trying to soothe. These moments seem small. They are not small. They are rehearsals for a stronger identity. Over time, you begin to notice something powerful: the urge is no longer the master. You are. And that changes how you move through the world. You become less reactive, less seduced, less desperate for constant stimulation, more still, more deliberate, more dangerous in the best way. Because a person who can wait has depth. A person who can wait has options. A person who can wait cannot be easily controlled by appetite, pressure, or social theater. That kind of discipline is rare now. Which is exactly why it matters. 3. Embrace discomfort. Most people do not lose their discipline in moments of catastrophe. They lose it in moments of discomfort. A cold morning. A hard conversation. An awkward silence. A disappointing result. A day when the energy is low and the excuses sound intelligent. That is where the collapse begins. Not because the task is impossible, but because the nervous system has been trained to treat discomfort like danger. And when discomfort feels like danger, avoidance starts to look like wisdom. The Stoics refused to live that way. Seneca, despite his wealth and influence, deliberately practiced hardship. He wore simple clothes. He ate plain food. He brought himself close to discomfort on purpose, not because suffering is noble in itself, but because dependency on comfort makes a person fragile. That lesson matters now more than ever. We live in an age where convenience is worshipped. Everything is built to reduce friction, reduce waiting, reduce effort, reduce stillness. But the human soul does not become powerful in low-friction environments. It becomes dependent. The problem is not comfort itself. The problem is becoming the kind of person who cannot function without it. You see this everywhere. A man avoids the gym because he does not feel mentally ready. A woman delays a necessary boundary because she does not want to seem harsh. A professional keeps postponing the ambitious move because uncertainty makes their chest tighten. Someone knows their habits are killing their confidence, but the pain of changing feels greater than the pain of remaining the same. This is how lives stagnate. Not from one grand failure, but from thousands of tiny acts of avoidance. And here is the deeper truth: society often rewards this weakness with polite language. It tells you to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid anything that challenges your emotional equilibrium, to interpret every strain as a sign that something is wrong. But very often, discomfort is not the sign you should stop. It is the sign you have finally reached the place where growth begins. Think of a blade being forged. Raw metal does not become sharp in softness. It becomes sharp through heat, pressure, repeated shaping. The same is true of a human being. Every time you face controlled discomfort, you strengthen your capacity to remain steady under pressure. Take the cold shower. Finish the task you keep avoiding. Walk into the meeting and speak when silence is easier. Tell the truth when performance would be safer. Stay with the workout when your body wants to quit. Sit alone without distracting yourself long enough to hear what your mind has been avoiding. These are not random acts of toughness. They are proofs. Proof that you can survive the thing you keep dramatizing. Proof that temporary discomfort does not have the authority to govern your choices. Proof that you are stronger than the story fear has been telling you. At first, it feels unnatural. Then it feels difficult. Then it feels clarifying. Eventually, what once intimidated you starts to look ordinary. That is one of the great gifts of discipline: it resizes your fears. The thing that used to feel unbearable becomes manageable. The task you used to resist becomes routine. The silence you used to avoid becomes a place of intelligence. And once discomfort loses its power to terrify you, life changes. Because now you are no longer bargaining with reality all the time. You are no longer asking life to become easier before you become stronger. You become the kind of person who can act in tension, not only in ease. That is real discipline. 4. Build small, consistent habits. People love dramatic change because it flatters the ego. A dramatic change makes a good story. It feels intense. It feels noble. It feels like proof that this time, transformation is finally real. But extreme plans often hide weak foundations. A person decides to reinvent everything overnight. New schedule. New routine. New diet. New mindset. New identity. For 3 days, they feel powerful. For 7 days, they feel hopeful. By the second week, reality pushes back. Energy drops. Life gets messy. The emotional high wears off. Then the old pattern returns. And the person does not just lose momentum. They lose trust in themselves. This is why small habits matter more than emotional declarations. Epictetus taught that progress comes from daily practice, not from fantasy. And fantasy is one of the most dangerous enemies of discipline. Because fantasy lets you enjoy the identity of a disciplined person without paying the cost of becoming one. You can fantasize about the body, the business, the peace, the respect, the comeback. But discipline is built in repetition, not imagination. It is built in what you do on ordinary Tuesdays when no one is inspired and nothing feels cinematic. A few pages read. A short walk taken. A journal opened. A workout started. A room cleaned. A promise kept. That is how power becomes real. Think of water falling on stone. One drop means nothing. It makes no speech. It declares no transformation. It simply returns, again and again, until the surface changes. That is habit. Most people underestimate it because it looks unimpressive. But the truth is brutal and beautiful at the same time. Your life is being carved by what you repeat, not by what you intend. So if you want discipline, stop trying to impress yourself with intensity. Start proving reliability to yourself in small ways. If you want to write, begin with a paragraph. If you want to work out, begin by showing up. If you want to pray, reflect, meditate, read, save money, repair your focus, make the first act so small it leaves you no excuse. This is not lowering the standard. This is building a standard that survives contact with real life. A father with a full schedule may not have an hour to train every day. But he may have 10 minutes. A professional with a flooded mind may not be ready for a deep journaling session. But they can still write 3 honest lines. A person emerging from burnout may not be able to rebuild everything this month. But they can still begin. And beginning matters more than pride wants to admit. Because every time you do the small thing consistently, you send a message to yourself. I return. I do not abandon myself. I can be counted on. That internal message is priceless. Eventually, the small habit grows. Not because you forced it into expansion too early, but because it became part of who you are. And identity is everything. People who lack discipline often think the solution is stronger motivation. It rarely is. The solution is creating repeated evidence that you are a person who does what must be done, even in modest forms, even without drama, even without applause. That is how self-respect is earned quietly. Not through one heroic day. Through 1,000 ordinary acts of consistency. 5. Detach from outcomes. This is where discipline becomes deeply stoic. Because most people are not actually defeated by effort. They are defeated by expectation. They work hard, but secretly demand immediate proof. They stay consistent, but constantly scan for results. They improve, but still measure their peace by what the outside world gives back. And that is exhausting. You can feel it in modern life. Someone starts getting healthier but cannot stop obsessing over the scale. Someone builds a business but panics over every slow month. Someone tries to become emotionally stronger but still craves visible validation that they are progressing fast enough. The effort is there, but the mind is chained to outcome. Marcus Aurelius warned against this in a way that remains painfully relevant. You have power over your mind, not outside events. That single idea can save years of frustration. Because outcomes are unstable. People are unstable. Markets are unstable. Bodies are unstable. Timing is unstable. Recognition is unstable. If your discipline depends on external reward arriving exactly when you want it, your inner state will always be fragile. And that is how many capable people burn out. Not because they are doing the wrong things, but because they are demanding reassurance from life too quickly. A person may go to the gym faithfully, eat better, sleep better, and still feel discouraged because the mirror has not changed enough yet. Another may be doing excellent work but feel invisible because the promotion has not come. Another may be healing emotionally, yet feel like a failure because they still have bad days. This is the trap. The world teaches you to worship visible milestones. The Stoics teach you to honor clean effort. There is enormous freedom in that shift. When you detach from outcomes, you do not become passive. You become stable. You still pursue excellence. You still care. You still move with intention. But you stop handing your emotional state over to things beyond your control. Instead of asking, "Did I get the result yet?" you begin asking, "Did I honor the process today? Did I show up? Did I act according to my values? Did I do the work I said I would do? Did I remain steady when progress felt invisible?" Those questions create a stronger life. Track your effort. Track your consistency. Track your obedience to principle. Let the outcome arrive when it arrives. Because one of the most dangerous lies in modern culture is this: if the result is delayed, the effort must be meaningless. That is false. A delayed result is not proof that you are failing. Sometimes it is proof that you are building something real enough to take time. And the more mature your discipline becomes, the less desperate you are for immediate evidence. You begin to understand that the process is not just the path to the goal. It is the place where your character is being formed. That matters more than people think. A person who reaches success with a weak mind will still suffer. A person who develops inner steadiness during the climb carries something far more valuable than the reward itself. So detach. Not from responsibility. Not from standards. Not from ambition. Detach from the demand that life must reward you on your timeline in order for your effort to be valid. Show up. Work clean. Stay loyal to the process. That is a discipline no disappointment can easily destroy. 6. Control your environment. Willpower is overrated when the environment is working against you. This is one of the least glamorous truths about discipline, which is probably why so many people ignore it. They keep trying to become stronger while living inside systems that quietly weaken them every day. A cluttered room. A phone always within reach. Endless notifications. Toxic conversations. A schedule with no protected space. People who mock growth but celebrate distraction. Digital environments built to hijack attention and monetize emotional instability. Then they ask themselves why focus feels impossible. The answer is uncomfortable, because your environment is training you whether you realize it or not. And if you do not consciously shape it, it will shape you. That is not philosophy. That is daily reality. The Stoics understood that inner peace is not separate from external influence. Yes, they emphasized self-mastery. But self-mastery does not mean naively standing in the middle of chaos and pretending you are unaffected by it. It means being wise enough to reduce needless friction. Look at your physical space. Is it designed for intention, or is it designed for escape? Does your desk invite work, or distraction? Does your bedroom support rest or overstimulation? Does your home hold reminders of who you want to become, or only evidence of disorganization and deferred decisions? A messy environment is not just visual clutter. It often becomes psychological clutter. Now look at your digital environment, which may be even more influential. Your phone is not neutral. Social media is not neutral. The algorithm does not care about your peace, your focus, or your future. It cares about capturing your attention, then selling it. That means every notification is not simply information. Sometimes it is an interruption disguised as relevance. You do not build discipline by trying to outmuscle endless temptation all day. You build discipline by reducing unnecessary temptation before the battle begins. Put the phone in another room. Turn off non-essential notifications. Set boundaries around when you consume content. Create spaces where you can think without being watched, interrupted, or baited into reaction. These are not small adjustments. These are acts of self-defense. And this applies to people too. Not everyone around you deserves proximity to your mind. Some people normalize laziness. Some normalize drama. Some normalize excuses, passivity, gossip, victimhood, and endless emotional leakage. If you spend enough time around undisciplined energy, it starts to feel normal. That is why boundaries matter. Not because you hate people, but because your future is too expensive to keep paying for everyone else's chaos. Maybe that means protecting your mornings. Maybe it means saying no more often. Maybe it means limiting time with people who constantly derail your focus. Maybe it means refusing to let your private space become a storage unit for unfinished decisions. Control your environment, and discipline becomes lighter. Ignore your environment, and discipline becomes a daily war you do not need to be fighting at that intensity. The stronger person is not always the one resisting more. Sometimes it is the one arranging life more intelligently. That is not weakness. That is strategy. 7. Reflect and reset daily. A lot of people want discipline, but they never stop long enough to examine the life they are actually living. So they drift. They repeat the same patterns. They make the same excuses in slightly different language. They experience the same emotional traps and call each week a fresh start, even though nothing fundamental has been observed or corrected. That is why reflection matters. Without reflection, effort becomes mechanical. And mechanical effort eventually loses soul. Marcus Aurelius understood this with rare seriousness. He wrote not to perform wisdom, but to keep himself aligned with it. Meditations was not public branding. It was private recalibration. That distinction matters in an age where people are more likely to post about growth than practice it. Daily reflection is where discipline becomes intelligent. It is where you stop merely acting and start understanding. At the end of a day, a disciplined person does not only ask, "What did I get done?" They also ask, "Where did I betray myself? Where was I strong? What pulled me off center? What emotion drove my choices today? What am I pretending not to know?" Those questions require courage. Because honest reflection ruins self-deception. And self-deception is one of the biggest reasons people remain stuck. A man tells himself he lacks time, but reflection would reveal he wastes hours numbing out at night. A woman tells herself she lacks confidence, but reflection would reveal she is exhausted from carrying everyone else's expectations. Someone says they need motivation, but reflection would reveal something far more honest: they are afraid to commit fully because then failure would become undeniable. Reflection exposes the real obstacle. That is why many avoid it. Silence can be confronting. Journaling can reveal truths the ego would rather postpone. A quiet room at night can feel heavier than a crowded day full of distraction. But this is where reset begins. Take 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the day. No performance. No overcomplication. Just honesty. What did I do well today? Where did I lose control? What triggered me? What did I avoid? What deserves to change tomorrow? Write it down if you can. Not to shame yourself. Not to build a case against yourself. But to become harder to lie to. Because the disciplined life is not built by perfection. It is built by correction. And correction is only possible when you are willing to look directly at your own patterns without collapsing into guilt. That is the key. Reflection should not become another stage for self-hatred. It should become a quiet room where truth is allowed to speak. Some days you will see progress. Some days you will see the same weakness again. Both are useful. A good day teaches confidence. A bad day teaches precision. Either way, you are learning. And when you learn daily, you do not drift far for long. You reset. You return. You refine. That is how discipline becomes durable. 8. Surround yourself with disciplined people. No matter how independent you think you are, your environment of people affects you. Their standards affect you. Their energy affects you. Their habits affect you. Their excuses affect you. And one of the great lies people tell themselves is this: I know who I am, so the people around me do not shape me. They do. Not all at once. Not always dramatically. But steadily. Spend enough time around people who mock seriousness, and seriousness starts to feel embarrassing. Spend enough time around people who celebrate distraction, and focus starts to feel extreme. Spend enough time around people who always explain away their failures, and eventually your own excuses start sounding reasonable. Epictetus understood this. If you want to become something, spend time with those who already embody it. That is not elitism. That is realism. If you want discipline, be around people who respect order. If you want peace, be around people who are not addicted to chaos. If you want growth, be around people who do not secretly punish ambition. This becomes especially important in adult life. Because by the time many people reach their 30s or 40s, they are no longer merely choosing friends. They are choosing climates. A climate of gossip or depth. A climate of honesty or performance. A climate of self-respect or quiet decay. And yes, some people will call this judgmental. But there is a difference between judging people harshly and observing influence honestly. You do not need to hate anyone to admit that some circles make you smaller. Some conversations leave you depleted. Some relationships reward the weaker version of you. Some people only feel comfortable around you when you are underperforming. That is more common than many want to admit. Because when you start becoming more disciplined, not everyone celebrates. Some feel exposed. Some feel left behind. Some subtly try to pull you back into the version of yourself that asked for less. That is why discipline requires social courage. Sometimes you need mentors. Sometimes you need peers with standards. Sometimes you need solitude rather than constant access to people who weaken your focus. Find those who live with intention. Not those who speak about it beautifully while living in disorder. Look for consistency. Look for restraint. Look for people whose actions calm you and sharpen you at the same time. A disciplined person does not need a perfect social circle. But they do need an honest one. And if you do not have that yet, build it slowly. Read voices that strengthen you. Join communities that value substance over noise. Stay close to people whose presence raises your standards without humiliating you. The goal is not dependency. The goal is reinforcement. Because discipline grows faster in the presence of people who make integrity feel normal. 9. Practice gratitude and celebrate wins. At first glance, gratitude may seem soft compared to everything we have discussed. Discomfort. Restraint. Structure. Correction. Boundaries. But gratitude is not softness in the weak sense. It is steadiness. And without it, discipline can become sterile, joyless, and self-punishing. That is where many people go wrong. They turn discipline into constant self-pressure. Nothing is enough. Nothing is worth acknowledging. Every step forward is ignored because their attention is trapped on what still remains unfinished. And eventually, the mind grows tired of living in permanent deficiency. Marcus Aurelius often returned to gratitude because he understood something simple and profound. A mind trained only to notice what is missing becomes restless, bitter, and difficult to govern. Gratitude restores proportion. It reminds you that progress is happening, even if life is still imperfect. It reminds you that effort matters, even before the final reward arrives. It reminds you that the disciplined life is not only about what you are building, but also about learning to see clearly. Think about how many people keep moving the finish line. They lose weight but criticize the pace. They make progress but minimize it. They survive a difficult season but only focus on the next burden. They keep demanding more from themselves without ever pausing to recognize that they have already become stronger than they were. That is not maturity. That is emotional malnourishment. Celebrating a win does not mean becoming complacent. It means acknowledging truth. And truth matters. If you kept a promise to yourself this week, that matters. If you handled a hard conversation better than the old version of you would have, that matters. If you returned after a bad day instead of turning one bad day into another lost month, that matters. Discipline survives longer when effort is noticed. At the end of the day, ask yourself not only what must improve, but also what deserves respect. Maybe you stayed calm where you once would have exploded. Maybe you got back to the task faster after distraction. Maybe you chose sleep over chaos. Maybe you stopped chasing attention. Maybe you held a boundary. Maybe you simply endured with dignity. These are not small things. They are signs that your inner architecture is changing. And gratitude does something else, something quieter. It protects you from becoming hard in the wrong way. Because the disciplined person should become more grounded, not more cold. More clear, not more arrogant. More resilient, not more joyless. Gratitude keeps the spirit clean. It lets you pursue excellence without forgetting beauty. It lets you strive without becoming consumed. It lets you build strength without losing perspective. So at night, before sleep, name 3 things. 3 moments. 3 efforts. 3 mercies. 3 signs of progress. 3 reasons not to abandon the path. This is not sentimental. It is strategic. A grateful mind can continue longer. A grateful mind does not burn itself out as quickly. A grateful mind can endure. And endurance is at the heart of discipline. So here is the truth. Extreme discipline is not about becoming robotic. It is not about punishing yourself into obedience. It is not about looking impressive online or performing strength for an audience that forgets you tomorrow. It is about becoming inwardly reliable. It is about building a self that does not collapse every time life becomes boring, painful, uncertain, or unrewarding. That is why these 9 Stoic secrets matter. Know your why, so your effort is anchored in truth. Delay gratification, so impulse no longer rules you. Embrace discomfort, so hardship does not terrify you. Build small habits, so consistency becomes identity. Detach from outcomes, so your peace is not chained to results. Control your environment, so your life stops working against your values. Reflect daily, so you can correct with honesty. Choose disciplined people, so your standards stay alive. Practice gratitude, so strength does not become emptiness. And here is that final mistake I mentioned earlier, the one that quietly destroys discipline in intelligent people. They keep trying to improve their behavior without confronting the false life underneath it. They want better habits without better values. Better focus without better boundaries. Better outcomes without greater honesty. They try to optimize a life that is still built around avoidance, image, and emotional escape. That never lasts. Because discipline is not a cosmetic upgrade. It is a private reconstruction. A stripping away. A return to what is real. A refusal to keep living divided against yourself. If you have been stuck, it does not mean you are broken. It may simply mean you have been trying to build strength on top of illusion. Now you know better. And once you know better, the standard changes. Not overnight. Not through some dramatic promise. But through the next decision. And the one after that. And the one after that. Quietly. Cleanly. Without needing anyone to believe in you before you begin. Because real discipline does not announce itself. It reveals itself. In the way you wake up. In the way you return. In the way you stay steady when the easy path is calling your name. If this spoke to where you are right now, let it stay with you for a while.